Welcome back once again, Redblurr Gamers. Just a quick update. I know that recently I have posted a few videos around painting some Imperial Guard. I had Kazakins there and decided that, part of the paint, the pledge to the Million Minis challenge that JW had going, I was going to work on my Kazakins. Since then, I've decided that I did the 4 videos quickly on painting a commissar, which I had stashed away as a competition piece because I'd never done a Warhammer comp before. But yeah, so I will be going through and painting some more Imperial Guard. That will be probably what my next run of videos are. I do have some other stuff I need to finish off. So there may be a medley of random painting videos. So hopefully you guys enjoy. I'll continue my best to upload, and I do know that I do have to do a upload to show everything I painted for the 100 or the Million Minis challenge where I painted 100 miniatures. I'll get that out. Some of that miniatures that were painted actually incorporates terrain because that's what the GW employee told me was okay. I wouldn't mind actually talking through the way I painted some of my terrain because I thought I did it pretty smartly and found it pretty easy to paint. As you can see, there's a lot of random stuff in the backdrop of what needs to be painted, what's in the little list of things to finish off, stuff that's started being painted, stuff that's not painted at all. A lot of it possibly could be pushed off the table. I do want to get in, and I have a whole bunch of Age of Sigma, Stormcast Eternals that I would like to build and paint. I'm feeling that this will end up being the paint scheme. I have one completed of these that I did for my 1 Million Minis challenge. I wouldn't mind finishing those and having them done. Mixed in with the other pieces of sorry, I'm just moving some stuff out of the way. I've got a model back in there. I've actually got to re-glue back together. I broke off a piece of my land speeder. But yeah, there's some stuff that I need to finish off, some stuff I need to get to. I do have more Imperial Guard that I will build and prime and paint. I have more terrain that I want to do with as well. I really want to be able to find a way to do what I suggested I would do early on this channel and actually get gameplay video out. I know 11th edition is coming around the corner. I do have a game lined up next week with one of the other boys from the Redblurr Gaming crew. We're going to attempt to run an 11th edition game with their base rules of what they're doing, and we will run the secondaries from the normal 10th edition secondaries because obviously we don't have access to the secondaries for 11th. We will run the primary missions. We're both going to take one and see how it works, which means scoring will probably be a little bit harder, probably a little bit more manual. But yeah, as you can see, there is some Kazakins on the desk. That will be what I do paint. I have one. This was my test model. Mind you, I don't know if it turned out that great. I'm happy-ish with the way I painted him. I've tried to do a few different things. You can see I've attempted to run highlights and then glaze them to try and bring the highlights together with the base. I don't know if it worked. I don't really feel like it did. Going for a sand theme, mainly because I want them to look like World War II SAS troops. That's why they've got the beret. That's why they're in the khaki colour. As you can see, there's 2 more there that have been done. The commissar obviously is painted more in the traditional darker brown colour that officers would wear for their jackets versus what standard infantry got. Officers also have, as you can see, this would be the sergeant. He has a when it decides it wants to zoom properly. He has the peaked cap, and there is another one just here who is also in the midst of being worked on. I've snapped arms off so I can work on them. As you can see, I'm trying to do this the old way. There's the Sergeant's power sword. The most traditional way of painting, you know, 2 thin coats, possibly more than 2 thin coats, and then finding it different, enjoyable. I've got to remember what paints I use. I'm using a wet palette finally again. But yeah, this was really just an update just to explain what's going on, and let you know that there'll be a little bit of Imperial Guard painting videos coming out, and I will be doing, hopefully over the weekend, as I work during the day, so I should be good Saturday night, hopefully, to go live. And when I do, I will put up all of the miniatures I painted for the 1 million mini challenge. And then next Tuesday, I will play the practice game and hopefully have a video up for that a couple of days later and get that out and done. But yeah, apart from that, this is what's going on at the moment. This is what I'm painting. Excuse some of the camera footage for those 4 videos was a little bit shoddy, but I'll do my best. I've found a couple of digital cameras that I own that I'm going to try and, well, one I've charged up. The other one I need to replace the battery so I can charge it up. But I've got a bigger memory card so I can at least record. And I'll attempt to record via a digital camera rather than using my phone to see if I get a better quality and output. And hopefully it works well. I've been using a phone to record currently. But yeah, looking forward to a little bit of change of pace, getting back to painting. I may even start running, a few painting videos where I don't talk too much, but I paint. I definitely do know I need to list out what I use in the comments so you guys can see what colours I'm using, to get a little bit of an idea of what I use. I've really got into the Army Painter speed paint stuff, especially with the speed paint markers. I know this is not finished yet, but this has been predominantly painted with Army Painter speed paint markers. As you can see, it's got to be touched up in a few spots, but it is basically, the grey is done. There's a few areas that have got to be fined out, and I can go into it with some possibly some smaller brushes to attempt to get the fine detail in, and then that would be a piece of terrain done. So yeah, working on painting my terrain so that I have it ready to go. Well, at least it'll be available and usable for when I do play home games of 40k. I'm on a shift working job again. I'm not working Monday to Friday 9 to 5s anymore. So there might be a few more videos go up, given that I have a few more days available previously, like when I first started the channel, to be able to post. So yeah, look guys, hopefully you stick around, hopefully you keep watching. I love it when you do get comments. It's good to hear what's going on, and hopefully soon I'll be able to get organized with the Discord channel, which I will pop up, and then obviously once we have reached the point where we can, I will be setting that up so there can be maybe some Discord calls with you guys to chat about what you're doing, what you're painting. But yeah, it'll have to obviously run a little bit, hopefully on my schedule, given the fact that I'm working afternoons now again. Some days as well. I do have some days off, but basically I work every weekend. And yeah, looking forward to being able to get around 11th and really see what it's like and see how much difference it changes, what it makes. It's been very interesting, but obviously talking about it will be another video on its own. This was really just a short drop in to say, hey, this is what's going on. Hopefully you can see there's been a few changes to the channel. Like I've started to try and create my own thumbnails so that I can at least make the videos look a little bit more interesting, and am trying very hard to at least provide a better experience for you guys watching. But yeah, other than that, as per normal, you know, if you got this far through the video and have stuck it out, I appreciate it. Hit that like, subscribe, and, you know, leave a comment. We have the community tab on the channel where you can post photos of your own progress. Hopefully soon enough, I will be attempting to do a video where I actually have one of the guys that I work with, or not that I work with, that is part of the Redblurr Gaming crew, and we will sit down and have a bit of a yarn about Warhammer and whatnot, and what they do in terms of what works for them, what they like to paint, what they're painting, what they're working on. But yeah, that will hopefully come around soon in the next, hopefully, month or so. Just got to iron out the final details on that so we can both figure out how to get it done, and whatnot. But yeah, other than that, guys, look, leave a like, leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed and you